Welcome to Marital Heat. I don't know where Doug is. Oh yeah, I do. I sent him out to the mailbox. I ordered new pens, and they are thermographic. And he went out. They've been in the Florida sun all day, so they're not going to work. This makes me sad. Anyway, welcome to Marital Hate. I'm Stacy. Doug is outside. Todd's here. He says, hey. And Jen says, I love that opening. We were playing it for the girls, and then one of you guys came in and they freaked out. So we were like, okay, well, we'll play it again. But anyway, we love it too. And we don't normally dance around the pool, but we did today. Doug's back, I think. Oh, here he comes. So we are not terribly prepared today for class because I was having a bunch of fun with my neighbors, with Jen's kids, and Jen, of course, did not come. Oh, show them.
I am going to.
I didn't even know what to say because I wasn't prepared for class today.
Oh, hello.
Say hi to the people.
My name is Doug.
So we don't hate each other. We do a nightly podcast Monday through Friday. We're actually doing on Sunday this week because of Father's Day.
Big Daddy Day.
Is that what you're calling yourself, Big Daddy?
Depends.
Remember on Claus, Uncle Daddy?
Uncle Daddy.
Which is Hank.
Hank from Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad, not to be confused with Hank from Californication, which we were just
watching.
watching.
We were just watching that.
So we don't know what we're going to talk about tonight, but sometimes our best shows are the ones where we have no idea what we're going to talk about. We just spin out.
I will say this, Stacy sent me out to get something out of the mailbox, which was not there. But I did see this circular from Pigeon Patty Pool, Patio, and Spa, which happens to have a flamingo.
Woo, woo.
There you go. So it's cool summer savings. You will find no such cool savings in this podcast arena, but we're glad you're tuning in.
Well,
yes.
What are they going to shoot? Okay. I'm super tired.
Well, you should be. You were cavorting in the pool with youngsters today.
We had a good time, though. My hair's a little.
I did not cavort.
Yeah. Why didn't? Well, you.
Although I did start a band today.
Started a band.
Started a little band
with our little neighbor friend. She wrote a song. What was it? How did it go again?
I don't want you to.
I don't want to be alone.
Be alone or whatever, which is pretty funny because.
It was actually it was a good line. It was she's kid's got talent.
Yeah, she did good. She made up verses.
And she's doing great with the swimming until she looks at either one of her parents. Just like so funny. And like if you have kids, you know that like your kids will do something for you for other people that they will never do for you. And so
it's true.
They just like, and it's so funny too, because they'll like be sitting with us and like having a good time, and the mom and dad are in eye line. They're like, bye, mommy. And I'm like, dude, the last half hour you've been completely happy. And you forget what it's like. I miss it. I miss it. And we were having a great time. And
well, having kids is a great way to a great excuse to do kid stuff.
Well, we do kid stuff. Fun. We do kid stuff.
We kind of do, but it's not like we play Legos and things of that nature, or
No,
blocks.
But we do have Candyland in the other room. I don't want to play
blocks.
Candyland with you anymore because you beat me last time we played Candyland.
Was that Candyland or Shoots and Ladders? I think it was
Shoots and Ladders. You mean Shoots and
I'm
Ladders?
the Shoots and Ladders.
Fuck
champ.
you.
I am the champ.
We're not playing Shoots and Ladders with you anymore. Maybe I'll try Candyland. I really want to play the Monopoly that we got though. We got Color Forms board games from the Dollar Tree because I love the Dollar Tree and it's the shit. Todd says happy Father's Day to Big Daddy D.
Thank you.
Todd, could you please call him that? Like
Big Daddy.
Every time you talk to him, because I would die laughing. Jen says Stacy shushed me today. I did. I was like, shut up. She's fine.
That's not nice.
Well, it was because the kids, like when Lenny went to pick up Jen, they were doing great the whole time. No problems.
Yep.
We were daredevils. The minute mom or dad are inside, I'm like, go, like, drop her off.
Well, they always just do stuff for attention anyway. They're like,
Well, it was funny though too, because like Soph would have the kickboard in her hand, and
Yeah.
she'd feel like she wasn't getting the attention she wanted, or wasn't, and she would literally intentionally let go. She'd be going full force, and just be like, "I'm like, what are you doing? You got it. Why don't you want to finish?"
Yeah.
But you know what? She's 6 and she's very, very smart. But the thing that's awesome is we have these neighbors. They live 3 houses from us, and my hot ass neighbor Jen. And they have these young kids, which is super stressful. But I love to play with. We love to play with them, so it's kind of a win-win. And of course, we have a pool, and they have children's parties with fucking amazing cupcakes. So
them are good, as they say.
Them are good. How the hell you even talked about that?
Know.
I hope you weren't offended when I shushed you.
You don't care if you were offended.
I do. I was just trying to switch. I just want to teach the kid to swim. But we're getting there. She made it back and forth across the pool a few times to the kickboard. Have you made it across the pool to the kickboard yet?
I haven't tried the kickboard yet.
Just saying, 6-year-olds running laps around here. I don't know what to talk about today because I didn't prepare for class at all, but I will say it's hot.
It is hot.
It's
It's hot, but it's and we forgot the fan too. So that's our new thing is we bring the fan out.
I think we
Which keeps us cool.
We might need to purchase a second.
First and foremost, this morning I felt very, very old.
You are very, very old.
Very, very old. And well, actually, these are two Flava Flav related items that kind of came up.
Oh
today.
God.
First, Flava Flav came out publicly as a Swiftie. Apparently, he went to the Taylor Swift show and loved it and thought it was the greatest thing ever, and then professed himself to be a Swiftie, which I think is great because he can like whatever he likes. And then the second thing is that he has not ogled the Martha Stewart swimsuit edition.
I thought you said that was Snoop.
No, it was Snoop. I'm sorry, because I'd written down Flavor because I was thinking about the other thing. So then Snoop would not. He said he would not look at Martha's thirst traps. So I'm like, what is a thirst trap? Is that like
adorable
slang for boobs? But it's not. It's actually a sultry picture that makes you thirsty for the lovin', is what it is. So that's a thirst. So I had to ask my wife that. And then shortly thereafter, one of my former coworkers had texted our group chat saying that she was at a store and one of the clerks the two of the clerks were younger ladies, apparently, were talking, and they didn't know what a paper check was. They had never seen one.
Are you kidding me?
A paper check.
I couldn't believe it. Kid down the street, Sophia, she's 6 and she knew what a record was.
She really did?
I was like, how do you? She's like, no, you put it on, right. It rotates. Yeah. Okay, cool. Hey, do we have D batteries?
D's, I'm not sure. We may.
I'm just gonna buy some. So the good news is I just found a fan for sale on Amazon, battery powered, which we need as Floridians. And
we actually need 2 battery powered fans, one for me, one for you. But that's okay.
You want me to get you
one?
No,
I'll be fine with the rickety fan that plugs in. No, I'm fine. No.
Do you want a second fan? I'll get a second fan.
I have that one.
I'll getting a second fan.
No, don't get a second fan.
Why?
Because I don't need a second fan. I have that fan.
But
and it doesn't take expensive batteries that are bad for the planet.
Do you want a blue?
No, I don't want a fan.
I
just made a point by saying that, but I really didn't want one. I don't,
because we can get you a blue one. Anyway, look at what the fan is called.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
So the fan is called a Triva fan. Our therapist's name is Triva. I just thought it was funny. I kind of feel like I should send her one. I really don't know what to talk about today.
You don't know what to talk about?
I haven't been on social media. I haven't been on the news. I haven't seen any Florida men. I did catch.
Oh, I have a couple things actually.
All right, go crazy.
Apparently, South. I don't know if it's local to Southwest Florida or if it's Florida in general, or it's just the local sort of channel. Today was Fugitive Friday.
Oh, is that
I don't know if that's Wink, but
Brady
it says
Judge do it.
No, it's just Fugitive Friday. And every Friday, Southwest Florida Crime Stoppers share information about 4 fugitives that are on the run. I don't feel the need to show their pictures, but number 1 is a repeat offender wanted for violating probation following an arrest and a DUI and resisting officers. The second is a lady on the run after she tried to fake a drug test after being jailed for cocaine possession. I'm not really thinking that person's out there wreaking havoc right there. And anyway, fugitive number 3, a convicted felon found with a gun after a murder. So that was in Cape Coral. And then nice. Number 4 was wanted on charges in connection with his 4th drunk driving arrest.
Well, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. That's gauche.
That's something that really fucking bothers me is when people have DUIs. Well, one of the things too for me is that obviously you have a DUI, you could kill somebody. And when I was getting my dad didn't make a lot of great decisions as a parent, but one thing that he did that instilled in me is the importance of not drinking and driving. When I was getting my license, I'm from a small town. And so my dad was a selectman in Berkeley, and he was able to get crime scene photos from the police department, brought them home and showed them to me.
Yeah. Unfortunately for
One of
you.
those photos was one of my friends who died. And so it put the fear of God into me in terms of drinking and driving. The ironic part is both my dad had gotten himself into an accident while he was 3 sheets to the wind.
Something.
And yeah, it is what it is. Shortly, actually, it was years later. Like I was an adult with kids by then. But he didn't get they people, small town. You get away with shit. So anyway, there's that. But I don't recommend drinking and driving. I don't really even like drinking. I
didn't like driving.
Well, you don't like driving. I love driving, but I'm not drinking. I don't really get. Like, I like the taste of like certain drinks, but I always feel shitty afterwards. I feel tired. It's not good for my body. It manifests as sugar in your gut. Like, it's just not my jam. But other people can do whatever the fuck they want. It's not the greatest thing. Oh, the neighborhood cat's here. Oh, we have a cat in our neighborhood.
Indeed. And I wanted to say that yesterday, apparently, there were quite a few weather events, some in Texas, Oklahoma, Michigan, and here in Florida on the Panhandle. And apparently,
hurricanes?
No, tornadoes. But there was fatalities in a town called Perrytown, Texas, which is up near the Oklahoma border. So it just looked just horrible. It just looked terrible. So
what we're saying is, if you want to come here to be depressed, good time.
I'm saying come here to get depressed.
We should pray for the people in Terrytown.
Well, I'm just saying, I feel that we should send them some good vibes to rebuilding and grieving. And
I'm kind of obsessed with the cat right now, to be honest with you.
Way over there.
Yeah, but he was doing some kind of cat on the prowl,
like a dancing thing. He was doing a dance.
No, I thought he was gonna pounce on something.
Maybe. Oh, there he is.
He's on a table now.
Anyway,
he's just chilling out.
Sorry, that was not exciting.
Maybe not exciting for them, but it was exciting for us.
No, it was not.
We're
Oh, I had an exciting thing happen today.
Yeah, Tom.
I received my vitamin C mobile chiropractic shirt today.
I have one too. I have a tank top.
The logo that I designed. However, there's a logo violation. They scaled this and the van, squished it in rather than being a circle. So I don't. Yeah. So I'm a little miffed at the t-shirt person for that, but you know what? I'll get over it.
I will say this: it's a nice soft t-shirt.
It is a nice soft t-shirt. Oh yeah.
Is the tree supposed to extend out of the circle?
The tree is supposed to extend out of the circle.
Well, there you go.
Anyway.
So, but look at that. There's white on the t-shirt, printed on a t-shirt. I thought you couldn't do that.
A garment printed shirt, and it's not like somebody printed it off their printer at home, which is a different process. The garment printer has white toner.
I don't understand. We still haven't attempted to do it. Actually, Jen down the street does iron-ons on a semi-regular basis. I think that she might know if you can print with white. I would think that it would just not print. It would just be like, okay, here's the white.
The transfer material is clear. So
well,
unless you put a white onto the clear.
Or if you get a white transfer material.
Right. Then you would have to trim it out. Stuff, so which I don't know if they do. I don't know. Anyway, the birds are lovely tonight. The birds have showed up on a Friday night, which is lovely. We have not heard an owl, but we have heard these little twerps, which is always good.
I'm starting to think we should stop doing the podcast because I got nothing to talk about.
You got nothing to talk about. It's Friday night. It's hot as balls, and we have currently one viewer, which is, and we probably know who that is, Todd. Let's see if he.
I don't know. I just don't know if I have anything tonight. I mean, I can hit Twitter.
Sometimes you have.
Oh, I'm still in a fight with. I never finished the Thinks thing.
Oh, right, the Thinks underwear.
This was actually interesting. So yesterday I was in a fight with the Thinks underwear people because they have these ads every 30 seconds, and this Thinks underwear is, they sell it for bladder leaks, and what's happened is there's a class action suit that they had to pay out on, and because there's microplastics in them. And it was actually causing, at least me, I can't speak for other people, to pee more. And so I finally realized that stopped using them. I used Monolaurin and managed to resolve the problem completely because my problem wasn't pelvic floor related, but in fact, due to cystitis because of Lyme. So I commented, like, why don't you tell people about your class action lawsuit? And their answer was, class action lawsuits are all too common these days. We just paid it out, like, blah, blah, blah. And so I posted it to my to my Twitter, and let's see if I got any responses because I screenshotted it and posted it. I wrote, no, maybe it didn't post. Weird. Maybe I posted on the other Facebook page, Twitter page.
Twitter is irreversible. Is it, or can you remove Twitters? I don't know, tweets. I don't even know. I don't even know. I only use it to contact sports radio or participate in polls on the Buffalo Bills midday show.
Oh my God. These fucking quantum idiots. I did have a resource looking. Are you fucking kidding me?
Tirade coming. Tirade alert. Tirade alert.
I just can't. I am done with quantum. I want to get new internet. So I am going to call fucking Comcast or Starlink today and get new fucking service. I'm sick of fucking fighting with these fucking idiots.
We have a Cindy Bennett asking how
Cindy?
it's going. She looks apparently a Jeeper. It looks like
Cindy is a Jeeper, although her Jeep, which she calls Hooker, is currently in the shop and she banged up her ankle again.
Oh, hope you're okay.
You poor thing. Like, I think it's time for a bubble, Cindy. I can't.
Oh yeah, a bubble wrap.
Like a bubble. Like she needs an entire bubble.
I was in the wrapping bubble.
She's been injured so many freaking times. Like since I've been Facebook friends with her, she's been injured like 8 times. I don't know if you saw this, but actually, I was telling somebody, but you want to hit. I sent it to my stepson and Tracy, who's not here tonight because she's at work, and Anne's also not here because she's sick as a dog still. Please say a prayer for Anne. Anyway, she had this teacher, this woman had a teacher that said LGBT, and it was a Jeep, and it was a rainbow Jeep because apparently, and I did not know this, but Jeeps are big in the gay community, particularly the lesbians. I don't know if it's more lesbians or the gays, but whatever. In any case, it says, "Let's get bigger tires," and I thought that was hilarious. I'm sorry you're having such a shitty day. I would love to be the one to uplift you, but today we don't really have a lot in us. I just don't know what we're going to talk about, other than the fact that I want to kill somebody over at quantum.
Quantum is never a good thing to deal with. Any customer service? Anybody have a good customer service experience other than yesterday with what was my Esperanza?
I love Esperanza. I meant to tell her last night that
some of the folks are really delightful, but then some of the things that you ask people to do,
I had people on the phone literally calling me a liar. Like they're ridiculous. So you have to say, "Oh, love that shirt." Doug actually designed that shirt. It's my friend's chiropractic business. Yeah. She's a mobile chiropractor over on the East Coast in Florida. She covers, I think, from like Daytona up to maybe St. Augustine and even as far as Orlando. And she's fantastic. As chiropractors go, most do that thing, and I don't like that. And she does like a little tappy thing, and I find it to be far more effective and less invasive. And she says my friend Shell has that same design as a sticker on her Jeep.
Yeah,
she might have something similar.
It's fair. Yeah, that's a fairly common theme. That's why I went with it.
Oh, sorry, I was meaning the LGBT.
Oh. Okay, never mind.
Never mind. She doesn't. But Doug's shirt is really cool. Also, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, well, it's not the most original of design. A lot of people use. Why can't I do? A lot of people use like the sunset in the colors and stuff like that, but it was perfect for what this was, so I liked it. And their van looks fantastic with the graphics on it and the palm trees and everything. Looks fun.
I have absolutely nothing tonight. I don't know.
Nothing.
There's not a ton of like I've got my Rich Dad Poor Dad notes. I can check here and I can check my phone. I'm just not prepared for class tonight. I really need to get better about.
So we finished up on the shrinkings.
We were talking about Crisco and anal fisting off.
Oh, that's right. I was going to do some research about that and
pull that up.
And I never. I was going to go in there and research it and have a report for you folks, and I didn't do it. We get off the podcast so late that really nothing of any substance happens after the podcast. Well,
somebody's here.
Anne is here. She's going to give it a shot. The Mack truck is backing over me, but hopefully his tires go flat. And we are with you all the way. We are sending vibes, and we hope that you're doing better. But it is the weekend. So that I don't know what that means to anybody, but it's because some people have a weekend, some people it doesn't matter, and then some people have weekends during the week. So That
I don't know. I'm having a reaction to something.
maybe hopefully me. Well,
can't
Cindy,
find-
you missed last night. We did kind of for some reason. There's a website called Fistify.
Yeah, but I'm looking
that
for it. I'm
deals
not
with that.
finding it. Do you have it in your history of your phone?
Fistify.com. What is that?
Fistify.com.
Unless it was a fake thing, which it may have been.
How would it be a fake thing?
Well, I don't know if I saw what it was on Fistify, but it was like a page, and at the top of it said,
Well-
just look up anal fisting Crisco, and then you'll look at that.
P.S. This is not something we do in this family. We do not do anal
Well, no,
fisting.
no,
We
no.
do any fisting of any kind.
But we have
Look at how big his hands are.
Mm,
Well, your other hand's actually even bigger. If you, what are you doing?
I can't. It's like a mirror. So
Wait,
anyway,
well, here's your face,
here's your face, and here's your fist.
and then
That's so funny. What's purple behind us? And that is a volleyball net, and the flamingos are playing volleyball back there.
No, it's a whole thing. Jesus Christ.
Crisco and anal fisting, a guide to Crisco. And this illustration is hysterical.
So there's a website called fistify.com, FISTFY.com. And there's some interesting photos.
All
on
you
that
need
page.
to know.
I would definitely recommend to not.
Why we choose. Look at.
Again, I'm going to tell you not to search for this on your work computer.
Yeah,
or
not
in
safe
front
for
of your
work.
children. But there's a whole thing, guide to Crisco, why we use Crisco and anal fisting. Crisco is
Soybean oil. Well, you don't want to eat it. Is the
why
thing?
does it say profitable and last long? Don't they use Crisco to make frosting?
Well, they sometimes they do. Well, sometimes they use it for that, and sometimes use it for cake. Palm oil, hydrogenated palm oil, mono and diglycerides. This stuff might be worse than
Soybean
Cool Whip
oil.
for you. Yeah, this is bad. This stuff is not your friend.
It's
You
there's
look
a whole
up all the oils you're not supposed to eat. It's in there.
And Todd says something. The
Weekend
weekend.
means 2 days without the podcast from our favorite people. No, you only get 1 day.
One
because
day
we'll
we're going to
be
do
here
Sunday night for
Sunday
Father's
night.
Day, my friend.
So bring your.
Because I think that there's some fathers in the world that maybe are lonely or what.
I have an idea. Maybe I just give fatherly advice for like people just write.
Please
come on the show and
give me some fatherly. I thought we were going to play Jackbox, but good. What's your fatherly advice?
Don't go to Fistify at work or on your work.
Well, I already gave that advice.
Yeah,
Does that
don't
make
do
it
that.
fatherly? All I can tell you is about this page is there's 16 sections on this page.
There's a lot of information about Crisco. I wonder if Crisco is in on this.
What is Crisco? Why we use Crisco for fisting? Crisco product details. Listing of fisting lubricants. Using Crisco as a lubricant. How to use Crisco in fisting? Is it safe to use Crisco as a lubricant? How to clean Crisco after fisting? Crisco and J-Lube. Where to buy Crisco?
This
Frequently asked questions.
This is more information.
Crisco lubricant. What is Crisco's history of anal fisting in Crisco? Crisco come synonymous of fisting. Okay.
Crisco fisting classic for anal fisting session.
That's not even here.
Oh, it's right there. That's like.
Okay, well, I'm not there yet.
All right.
Crisco and fisting today. Finally, the conclusion of Crisco.
This is, this is.
Might be what we need to talk about tonight. What are we going to talk about tonight? I don't know. Crisco fisting.
This is a comprehensive. This is comprehensive, like, Black Velvet, like how that. What was her name? Angela something? No, who did Black Velvet?
Alana Miles.
Alana
I'm
Miles.
sorry.
So she did Black Velvet. Return to Black Velvet. She put out Best of Black Velvet. She did like Black Velvet in Swedish.
Black Velvet, beginning.
Back to Black Velvet.
Black Velvet, The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. Yes.
Black Velvet, The Last Crusade.
Electric Boogaloo. It was insane. This website is as comprehensive. They probably meant we should count how many of the word Crisco is in this website.
I don't think the Crisco is the key point here. I think the fisting is the key point. All I can say is this is not something that we personally do. If any of you do the fisting, like we have no judgment, but we have questions. We want to know about your fisting. So we're going to read about this.
I would say that Crisco is probably, they sell it in tubs. It's probably a cheap alternative to one of those expensive anal fisting lubes.
I'm just saying that out there. I'm not. First of all, let's just be abundantly clear. There will be no fisting of any kind happening in this house.
I don't have any Crisco. So
I mean, if you want to have a friend over and fist, have
well, it is Father's Day coming up.
Is that what you want to do for Father's Day? Fisting?
Give me a big old.
Do you want me to fist you?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I got enough issues.
I don't really feel like I have enough strength to get it up there. In any case,
look at the sweat on this. I'm so like, ugh. I look like I'm covered in Crisco.
Okay, but people put their entire hand in someone's butt. That's a thing.
I don't know.
Like, I can understand, like, okay, maybe vaginal fisting, like if you've recently had a baby. And they demonstrated it in Chasing Amy. Like Joey Lauren Adams goes, and I just can't.
What do you do with jazz hand once you're in there?
I don't know. It's not something I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know
just
how
happy I pooped today. By the way, everybody, I pooped today. Okay, on the subject of fisting, anal fisting is sexual practice in which one partner inserts a hand, both hands, or a foot into the other's anus. Oh my God. It produces a comprehensive and new kind of sexual satisfaction.
Does a foot have a flange?
Yeah, your ankle.
Okay.
The feeling of the experience is a little different than normal anal sex. I'd say so. I mean,
the person receiving the fist is called the fistee.
Despite the term fisting, the hand is not in a fist position for the curious folks out there.
Wait. It's a misnomer. It's like Cape Cod, which is actually an isthmus. No, I just made that up. It's actually a Cape.
Don't give people bad information.
We're giving them.
We have to give
Crisco
educational
okay.
and.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll try and rein it in.
Okay, so your hand, it's done by reducing the fingers and overlapping the hand, taking a position called the silent duck. That's what you do.
The silent duck.
That's
tonight's episode, Nick.
Silence. Not silence.
Silence duck?
Silence duck.
Duck or Doug?
Well, I think if I did this to you, it would
I would not be silent.
I don't know. The fist fucking session may take hours, and during which the fistee can experience multiple types of orgasms.
Welcome,
some fisty bottoms.
Welcome, Reverend Jones, and
some fisty bottoms can even fist themselves. It requires certain physical and anatomical properties from the bottom, so it can happen.
So one can be the fisty and the fistor.
I'm just saying, right now, I could get DoorDash some Crisco, and you could just go right in the other room.
DoorDash Crisco.
I can't even. I should be doing enemas, or in theory coffee enemas, but I hate the smell of coffee. But whatever. But I have trouble reaching. But you have longer arms than I do.
Yeah, but I'm not flexible at all.
That's not true. You tried to suck your own dick once and you could do it. You were like 12, but still.
I can't go there.
You don't even have it. Try going through the front.
Around? Well, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can.
Everybody at home,
give it a shot.
Please let us know how it goes. Could you fist yourself? Have you fist yourself? Are you interested in fisting? I got to keep going on this one. It's been used for, and then we'll get over to rich dad, poor dad. I don't think you should use Crisco as lube. I'm sticking with coconut oil.
There's a whole website that says to
Crisco. Just because there's a website doesn't mean you should use it or do it.
There's a lot of websites out there.
Crisco has been used for decades in many of our favorite pastries. Crisco is a vegetable-based baking fat.
Vegetable-based baking
It's a hardened. The plant-based Crisco is suitable for monk paste as well as fisting.
Monk paste.
What the fuck is monk paste?
Monk paste.
Now I gotta find out what. Oh my God! Maybe your mom doesn't know it is also a favorite for many boys. Well, now your mom knows, motherfuckers. Holy God, what is wrong with these people? No judgment, but also, oh my God. You do you. Perhaps a much more enjoyable use of Crisco is for use it as a lubricant in anal fisting session. In terms of features, it is therefore well suited as an anal fisting lubricant. Oh my God. Could you imagine if you, okay, let's just, for the sake of argument, you're home, you're young, gay, and because this is a gay website, by the way, but I think you can do it if you're straight. I don't know why they have to be so straight phobic. You can be fisting if you're straight.
This is 2023, folks.
Fisting is for everyone.
Fisting can be for everybody. It's not for
everybody.
It's not for me. But it can be. We're just throwing it out there.
It's going to be for Doug.
It's not going to be for me.
Who's going to fist you? Anyway, that's not the point. Take a drink. The Crisco ass fisting lube is thick and hard in the jar, but it melts on the body temperature and leaves the skin feeling soft and smooth. This thick, full-bodied, and completely plant-based preparation turns into slippery oil when exposed to heat, much like coconut oil, which
Good
is
for you
much
vegans
better
out
for
there.
you. The long-term Crisco preparation is suitable for anal sex. As a food,
Suitable.
it is safe to swallow. In addition, Crisco has a very high capacity and gives a long-lasting guide. Coconut oil. Jesus Christ. Why we use, and he goes into, it guarantees a good glide. Crisco is inexpensive. I don't understand why he says profitable and lasts long. Do you make money off of this? I mean, I would pay money to watch people.
Profitable. I don't know. I don't know what you're doing for
I
work.
would pay money to watch people fist each other, but that's just because I have a sick sense of humor. I also like spider porn. I don't watch porn to get turned on. I watch porn because it's fucked up. Like if there's something incredibly screwy, like send that to me. I'll watch it. But
so just so you guys know that Crisco for a 1 tablespoon serving. Why are you poking me?
I wasn't poking you. I was
thought you were
scratching my
poking me.
leg. Jesus, Jumpy
12
Joseph.
grams of fat in a tablespoon of this.
It's not a healthy fat. It contains
there is no
soy.
cholesterol, no sodium.
My primary issue with this is
No
not
protein.
Is not the fisting. It's the fucking Crisco. It has soybeans, fully hydrogenated palm oil, mono and diglycerides, TBQ, and citric acid. These are all terrible things for you.
So here is
The citric acid in most foods is actually a type of mold. It's not actually.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
So I will read this. So calories in a tablespoon, 110.
Oh my god.
Total fat, 12 grams, and that is saturated fat, 3.5 grams equals 16% of your daily allowance. Polyunsaturated fat, 6 grams. Monounsaturated fat is 2.5 grams. 0 cholesterol, 0 sodium, 0 carbohydrate, dietary fiber 0, includes 0 added sugars, protein 0, vitamin A, C, calcium, and iron 0%. So this stuff is essentially just junk or greasy junk.
Hang on. Baking.
Wait.
Can Crisco and coconut oil be substituted for each other? Coconut oil can be used for a substitute of Crisco when making pie crust, cookies, and more. Likewise, no, don't use Crisco.
Well,
just keep in mind that
Crisco.
Crisco.
Nothing against Crisco. We're just trying to guide our people into a nicer direction of health.
Coconut oil has a lower melting point.
Does, yes.
Nutrition. Crisco is made from partially hydrogenated vegetable oil, which means it contains trans fats. Trans fats have been linked to increased risk of heart disease, so it's best to limit your intake of them. Okay, if you're going to be shoving things up your ass,
that's intake.
You end up at the hospital anyway, and they're going to have to treat you for your heart attack because you're eating trans fats.
But can you absorb trans fat through the anus?
I'm just saying, if you're going to go to the hospital for trans fats anyway, you might as well start shoving things up your ass that don't have a flange.
Enjoy it. I might as well enjoy it.
Little known fact, I'm fascinated. Like, I encourage people to put whatever they want up their ass, but I'm a big proponent of only things with a flange because you don't want to end up on the internet. Todd says the weekend means 2 days without the pot. Oh, that's not it. Okay, so that's. Well, I think that everybody needs 2 days without this. Anyway, on the other hand, coconut oil is a plant-based fat that is high in saturated fat. While saturated fat has been linked to heart disease, coconut oil may have some health benefits, such as raising good HDL cholesterol levels. I find this article to be bullshit. How you cannot be... I can't. It's so much better for you.
Coconut oil.
Coconut oil is so much better for you than Crisco. There's no way you're telling... It has soy in it. Like, I can't.
I would like to direct everyone's gaze into this beautiful sunset that we have back here.
It is kind of cool.
Quite nice.
We need some fucking rain, though. I keep having to put water in the pool, which is, it obviously.
No rain tonight. I just
like me with my first world problems with the no water in my pool. But okay, blind melon. But the issue that I have with it is the planet needs the water down here in Southwest Florida. We normally have like monsoons for days. Like, I'm concerned.
There's a rainy season and it's coming up and we're going to get replenished.
What do you mean? The rainy season has been like the last month and it hasn't rained at all.
We got like 14 inches of rain with that hurricane.
Okay, but that was 9 months ago, Doug. Like, tell that to... Have you looked at our front lawn lately?
I think that the guys burnt the front lawn with the fertilizer because you can see the tracks. Like there almost goes in a track of the burnt spots.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I just can't get over the. Somebody's playing music.
There's music.
So they say there's silicone-based, oil-based lubricants like Crisco, water-based lubricants. There's many combinations of lubricant or so-called hybrid lubricant. Hybrid lubricant is a blend of water and silicone-based lubricant. So if you enjoy the best of both lubricants, what are you looking at?
This guy's wearing a Crisco shirt, and the tagline for Crisco says "Professional for fisting," and he's just wearing it out.
If I bought you that T-shirt, would you wear it?
I would totally wear that. That's a riot.
No, you would not.
I would. I would wear it on this podcast.
Yeah, but you wouldn't leave the house.
I'd leave the house. Nobody would know. Nobody would read the tagline.
But then people are going to think that you fist me. I don't want people to think that you fist me.
Maybe I'm a self-fister. You don't know. They don't know.
I want you to be a self-fister. Go crazy.
I don't have any Crisco.
We have coconut oil, and it's better for you.
If I'm going to be the fisty, I'm going pro. You got to go pro.
Do you want me to have DoorDash bring you some Crisco?
No, I don't. We don't have money for DoorDash.
I don't even know what to say about that. Well, health officials have discouraged people from using oil-based lubes because it breaks down latex rubber, causing condoms and fisting clove to fail.
Fisting clove?
I don't know what the fuck that means. I think this guy might be.
Oh, glove is probably means if you have a
I don't
fisting
know, like
glove.
you have a professional website with a typo. Only silicone water-based lubes are safe to use with latex condoms. That's a valid point because
it is fistify.
I have not used a condom in quite so many years now. We've been married for 10, together for 11, and I did buy condoms one day as a joke.
She did. She bought them as a joke, and I go out, and the girl delivered the little package or like the bag from wherever she got them. Was awfully like kind of coy. She was like, "Hey, here you go," and I'm like, and I didn't know, and I get inside, and there's an extra little. She thought that was so funny.
I just can't.
Crisco lubricant guide FAQ.
I mean, I guess you don't necessarily need a condom if you're fisting someone unless you have open sores on your hand.
Or a big ring.
I would think you would take your ring.
I don't want. Yeah, you don't want to lose a ring up there. But
and then there's a series of photos, Crisco with like from the 1950s with like housewives.
This is probably a huge joke that somebody's playing on the world.
I don't. All I know is that they have ad revenue and we don't. So we're doing something
Owner
wrong.
of the Crisco Disco.
Crisco Disco owner was a man named Hank Pagani. The owner of Crisco had an incredible cocaine habit, and he would invite celebrities, fellow city gay bar and club employees, and all attractive men he could to his VIP room where he'd have a huge pile of blow the size of a card table would be waiting. The club's VIP room was notorious for the free drugs. So famous, in fact, that Blondie's song Rapture with the line, "Flash is fast, flash is cool," refers to a well-known coke and heroin dealer who hung out at the club. Okay. Famous pop artist Andy Warhol and Crisco Disco. Story tells Andy Warhol wasn't at the theater. He was at some popular gay clubs or a host of drag bars and same-sex clubs, including Crisco Disco. Warhol says he loved that downtown vibe. He explained Uptown is for people who have already done something. Downtown is where they're doing something now. I live uptown, but I love downtown. And they just continue to go on.
Andy Warhol, huge Clash fan. He was like a groupie. He loved the Clash. Look at the purple sky. My mind says prepare to fight.
I don't know what I'm more beside myself about. The fucking idiots at Quantum or the anal fisting in Crisco. Use coconut oil, people. Okay.
Crisco might be cheaper. I'm gonna look
Whether it's cheaper or not, that's not the point. We don't put things in our body that are harmful to it. P.S. Soybean increases your estrogen. You want to have a bunch of estrogen going up your ass? It's most readily absorbed there. I'm telling you, boys, coconut oil. Or girls, whoever wants to do it.
16 ounces of Crisco. Guess how much? Price is Right style.
It's probably free, but okay. Like, so here's some Roundup. Why don't you use that as lube? Like, I can't. I just, what is wrong with people?
That's a
small.
Small tub.
I don't realize
16-ounce tub.
I don't realize until I'm talking to people like how very different our life is than most people's lives.
It really is. It really is.
Other people like go to the store and buy like shampoo and like products in general. Like I don't buy anything.
I go to the grocery store. I rarely ever shop in the middle of the store. Sometimes I'll have to go get like avocado.
Spices or
you got to pay attention. Avocado oil, mayonnaise, regular mayonnaise, soybean oil, and stuff like that. It's terrible. Got to go the avocado oil. But even the avocado oil ones, you look at it, it's got avocado, but it's still the other crap.
You have to read the ingredients on everything.
Yeah, you do.
Good night, Ann. Crisco.
You have to watch labels on everything. Look for those hidden terrible MSG, monosodium glutamate. No, I think
we were talking about making our own mayo, but we never did it, and I bet it's
we
a
never
lot
did,
better.
but we got the giant one at Costco. So,
So we've been getting the Primal Kitchen.
yeah, Primal Kitchen also makes a mayonnaise that ketchup that is organic and does not have sugar added.
Yeah, Primal Kitchen has a lot of really good products.
They're
I
expensive.
recommend. They're expensive, but so like on their website, things are a little bit more expensive than they are other places. Which is interesting. Thrive Market, their mayo is 10. That's interesting. At Thrive Market, the avocado mayo is the Primal Kitchen is $10.29, and Primal Kitchen charges $11.99 for their own mayo.
Oh.
But they have some expensive. Their products are expensive, but they're generally healthier. And that our thing is like we try. We want to eat as healthy as possible, and so we generally do. But it's expensive.
Mm.
But not as expensive as being malnourished or going to the doctor or being sick or any of that shit. So we try to do it as much as possible.
Insulin or something.
What did we have today that was actually really yummy? Oh, but they had sugar in it. I would have gone honey. At least it's.
We had the brown sugar garlic chicken that has been bandied about. I believe actually our friend Todd had posted originally. Tracy had posted it, and I said, I've been dying to make this, and I had the chicken. I made it, and I kind of wish that I cut the chicken thinner and seared all of the chicken because you would have got more flavor on that.
I know. I thought the chicken was cooked perfectly.
It's okay.
But I don't want to be eating sugar, so that was
I don't think the sugar was necessary to that.
Well, again, you could have used honey. You know what? It probably would have been really good. Maple syrup.
Ooh,
maple syrup and garlic. I bet that would be good. We'll have to try it again.
Kind of doesn't sound.
So you learned you
honey
just
garlic,
seared the Instant Pot and then just put it on.
You sear it up and then you put the brown sugar and salt, pepper, whatever else was in there, cayenne pepper.
Yeah, but what did you do? It pressure cook?
I pressure cooked it for 10 minutes.
And it was beautifully
moist. It was very nice.
So sear and pressure cook.
Sear,
10 minutes.
Pressure cook.
But you could do pretty much any chicken any way you wanted, like any kind of marinade you have. Like take some chicken, some marinade, throw it in there for 3 days, or you could do some dry rub. Or...
I do like my chicken like kind of crusty and like on the outside, whereas that it cooks it, but it doesn't have that nice glaze to it or.
But that's why you were supposed to do it when you.
That's why I shear. Yeah, but it actually
that chicken was the best chicken you have ever cooked. I didn't love the flavors, but in terms of the chicken cooking, it was perfect.
Yeah, I actually put a little bit more ingredients in there because I had more chicken. So I was thinking it was going to be a little strong, but it wasn't. The flavor wasn't that strong. It was just it was just kind of there.
No, so wait. So tell me what you didn't like about it.
What didn't I like about it?
You didn't like the way the chicken was cooked? I thought the chicken
was cooked I thought the chicken was cooked well, but I think what I would have done is cut those, because they were thick chicken breasts, I would have cut them in half so you had more surface area to pull out more of the flavor and to get more of the sear.
I don't know. I thought it was perfect. I would have done either honey or maple syrup in place of the sugar, but I thought everything else was perfect. And this is one thing that Doug did today, and he often will forget to do because, like a lot of these recipes, oh my God. Tell me if you have this where you like Google a recipe and it's in somebody's blog and you have to hear about how they went to the south of France in 1985.
And the origin of chicken, like where the chicken was invented.
Ridiculous. And so speaking of, by the way, we should have that Tuscan chicken that we do. That's really good.
I haven't had that in a while.
Doug will explain the Tuscan chicken in a minute. But a lot of times recipes will call for you, especially Instant Pot recipes, will call for you to use a saute function to either sear or saute something ahead of time. But the way that the recipes are, like you're just trudging through some fucking nonsense story that you don't give two shits about. Just give us the fucking recipe. No one cares about your life. I say that as we sit here and tell a podcast about our lives, where we really have nothing to say tonight, and we failed our community.
I don't know if we failed our community of one. Because we always
are we back down to one again?
We always present Todd with novel situations like Crisco as a anal fisting lube, which is all good.
I figured I'd do my rich. Oh, incidentally, I played the Rich Dad Poor Dad game today, and I was doing really good. I was playing against some nice Indian people, and then my internet cut out, so I lost. But I was doing great. I was kicking their asses.
So you were the Rich Dad.
I was being the richest. So the goal is to leave the rat race. So they have you. Okay. It's actually really cool. So you can go on richdad.com and it's on your right. And you give them your email address or whatever. And they send you a code. So what I did is you go on the website So there's a circle, and you just go around and around and around this circle, kind of demonstrating what happens when you're working for
In the rat
corporate
race.
America in the rat race. And the goal is to get enough investments that you get to leave the rat race and go on to your dreams. And I did that this morning. I'm really proud of myself.
Well,
It takes a little while to figure out the game, but basically the short version is that it's really weird to me when people drive by going super slow. You want to obviously you want to take on as many small investments as you can that bring in some revenue, and you want to diversify those, and then you start bringing in the larger investments, and you really need to evaluate each of the investments individually. Yeah, so I don't know.
With the
Charlie and I are
prospectus.
planning on playing. You and I are planning on you haven't expressed any interest in playing, but
I
thought it'd
didn't
be
really.
fun.
I kind of heard about it last night. I believe was the first time I
Yeah,
heard about
well, I
it. So
played it this
I didn't
morning.
really think about it.
Todd, I don't know if you would be able to do it because I don't know how much it would translate for you, but it was definitely interesting, and I think it conveys some valuable points. And I as soon as I figured out like exactly how the UI is a little like it's bare bones. But it was pretty fun to play. So I want to go down my rich dad quick, and please feel free to comment as you will, Douglas, because I know how much you love these books. Job security meant everything to my educated dad. Learning meant everything to my rich dad. Oh, this is actually interesting. So this guy is the rich dad is sitting with this woman, and she runs a school that trains. She's written this. She's an author, but she hasn't really been able to sell any books, and she's really very good at writing. And so, of course, the rich dad guy who wrote this book is like, I'm not a good writer, and I'm a best-selling author. So, and he says to her, hey, I know this guy who runs a school in Singapore that trains people to sell. He runs a sales training courses for top corporations. You should take the course. And she was fucking pissed. She said, are you saying I should go to school and sell? And she was like, are you serious? And back and forth. And she says, I have a master's degree in English literature. Why would I go to school to learn to be a salesperson? I'm a professional. I went to school to be trained in a profession, so I would not have to be a salesperson. I hate salespeople. All they want is money. So tell me why I should study sales. And she was packing her briefcase. The interview was over. So he explained, he said, look at my book. What does that say? Best-selling author, not best-selling writer. And the reality is that sales is an important part of every aspect of your life, whether you realize it or not. And I was kind of a born salesperson. Like even as a kid, I could sell anything, and of course I can to this day. But I think it's easier for women to sell because a man wants to talk to a woman wants to talk to a woman. I tell every woman I know this. I'm like, get into a sales job. Get a sales job. You have a personality. Sales job. You will make bank, motherfucker. But she was really fucking offended, and I guess some people look down on salespeople.
Well, no, I mean,
and I don't give two shits about money, by the way.
Yeah, it probably depends on what they're selling.
Well, I mean, I think there's slimy salespeople that give salespeople a bad reputation, but for me, like my thing was always in building the relationships.
Right.
And so, like, if they didn't, like, I would hang out with people, talk to them, get to know them, and they wanted to buy a product from me, great.
Yeah.
And but 9 times out of 10, they would actually just, if they didn't buy from me, they'd refer me a shitload of business because they were like, oh, you're delightful. Yeah. So this is interesting. So he was talking about how a business consultant had told him that most people are only one skill away from great wealth. What that means is that most people need to only learn and master one more skill, and their income would jump exponentially. So for this woman, if she had mastered sales, she'd be able to sell her book. She'd be doing much better. When it comes to money, the only skill most people know is to work hard. Mistake. Most teachers lack he talks about education and why education is failing. He talks about learning styles. Earlier in the book, The Education Funnel, it's really interesting. And one of the key points he talks about is learning styles and what it's effective. Reading about things isn't typically effective. And a lot of the ways that things are taught isn't effective, which, again, the game, pretty effective. Most teachers lack real world experience. They haven't done what they teach. They haven't actually experienced what they teach, made mistakes, learned from those mistakes, and applied what they've learned as they continue to practice and get better and better. Schools teach to read and memorize. I believe studying is the key to applying what we learn. So Do you remember in Back to School, Rodney Dangerfield? And he was in a class and they were talking about manufacturing widgets.
With
and he's
Professor
like,
Turgison.
don't forget about the palms you have to grease and the blah, blah, blah. And what about this? And what
and
about
everybody
that?
starts taking notes on that.
Yeah. And he was right. And the teacher knew shit. And I'm not trying to shit on academics, but it's kind of, it's an issue in certain areas.
I was told I was not cut out to be a graphic designer by someone that taught graphic design.
Well, I mean, like, listen, I had, I've never met your dad. He's dead.
He's
dead. I have tremendous amount of respect for your dad, but at the same time, it's like, if you can't apply what you're teaching in real life, what the fuck good is it? What's the purpose?
No, absolutely.
And so he talked about here. He said, "You want to know a little about a lot." Was Rich Dad's suggestion, because the educated dad had told him his poor dad, the educated guy, told him to like pick one subject and focus on that and specialize. And it's interesting because he talks about this in the book about how if you're going to be someone who specializes in one thing and you get fucked by your industry for one reason or another, the industry bottoms out or the industry changes or you can't find a job in that industry, you're kind of shit out of luck. Whereas if you're diversified, you can do different things and bounce into a different field. And so he had actually, he was a pilot and his dad was devastated that he didn't continue to be a pilot. And one of the things that he realized was his poor dad, job security meant everything, but learning meant everything to his rich dad.
Yep.
And the thing that's interesting about it is he goes on to talk about unions.
Yep.
And how the unions are great for people with specialization of labor because they're able to, give themselves some level of job security by collective bargaining. Whereas as a entrepreneur, the last thing you want is unions because it raises the costs. It's funny because the issue I have with unions is that you may have to join a union whether you want to or not, if you want a job.
Right.
And then the unions do, they work. So the teachers union, the nurses union, all these unions work together.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you may not be in agreement with something they're doing, but because you're part of the union, so I wouldn't want to be a member of a club that would have me as a member. And I know, like, even like the kids, like Nolan's works at Stop and Shop. He has to be a part of this. Has to be a part of the Stop and Shop union.
There's some really good things about unions. There's been some really kind of bad things about unions. Probably more good than bad. But I think at the time, right, then these things were formed, it gave the many a voice against the few, and I think that and gave them of bargaining power.
My grandfather my dad was in the union. I have two uncles that were in the union. My grandfather was in the union. My other grandfather was a Teamster. There were definitely benefits to it for them. And listen, when you're talking about multi-billion-dollar corporations that do not give a fuck about people, yeah, I'm for it. But at the same time, I'm also for people, coming together and saying no without.
Yeah, right.
You can just do that without having this like formed, and like, let's face it, a lot of the money that in Washington is union lobby money. And I don't know.
Well, I look at it. It's like, I could find issue with something at work and walk out and they're like, see, I wouldn't want to be ya, versus a group of people disagreeing about it and walking out and en masse. And
the thing that's cool is that you have your union rep and there's some powers, but like a lot of the time, like I know people, and I'm not going to name any names, that should have lost their jobs but didn't because they were in the union. The union protected them. And so then it's like, okay, well, what quality of workers do you have at that point? Right? Like if you can't fire people because of the union, then you have a poor quality of employee. I think in a perfect world, I think everybody would have kind of their own thing, right? Because working for other people kind of sucks, and have some level, like if you have ownership in a business, you're invested in the success of that business. And I think that that's something that I think businesses miss out on. But this is one of the other things he suggests is leadership is what you need to learn next. If you're not a good leader, you'll get shot in the back, just like they do in business. He was actually referring to the Marines at the time, but then he got a job at Xerox. Apparently Xerox has a really good training
program. Funny thing is, I interviewed at Xerox, and I basically told them that I didn't want to work there because it was in downtown Boston. I don't want to do it.
I had some family that worked for Xerox for many years. Rochester, New York, baby.
Well, this was Boston. His dad, being an intellectual, thought salespeople were below him. I worked for Xerox for 4 years, and I overcame my fear of knocking on doors and being rejected. Once I consistently was in the top 5 in sales, I again resigned and moved on, leaving behind another great career with an excellent company. That's the thing about it. It used to be like when my grandfather worked, you went and worked for the telephone company for 30 years, and he did very well. He was there back in the AT&T days, and Ma Bell and New England Telephone, 9X, the whole Michigas. And I believe my grandfather did pretty well on those stocks. But, I don't know what my point of that was. That, he stayed there 30 years and he got his pension. But a lot of people have worked for years and years and years, and their pensions have disappeared. And pensions aren't really a thing anymore. And what young people are finding today is that the only way that they're going to get ahead in their career is if they job hop. And it's what my first recommendation to any young person would be to start their own thing. And my second recommendation would be to job hop and get jobs.
My recommendation also would be find skills that are recession proof. It's funny. I always thought that the real estate would be recession proof.
No.
Well, at least commercial real estate, because you always have to have business and stuff. And then COVID hit, and then people, they're starting to get back to it. But anyways,
there are some jobs that are more recession proof than others.
Yeah. And
boring jobs generally are the most profitable. But I don't think that there's such thing as a recession proof job. And I think if you're going to be grinding away every day, 8 hours a day, I think you should do something you like.
But I don't think you heard the part I said. Learn skills so that you make yourself recession proof, whether you're in financial services or if you're in healthcare or if
that's the whole point of the book, is that you got to learn as many skills as possible.
I agree with that. I always think that you should be good at a lot of things rather than absolutely great at one, because it just puts you in a
which is funny because I know that you always go through this, you're a sensitive artist type. And you'll be self-deprecating, giving yourself a hard time about work or whatever. And the reality is you're great at a lot of things. I mean, the thing is that you not only are you great at design and brand work, but you can deliver that. And what people don't realize is AI is never going to be able to present work. AI is never going to be able to meet clients' needs because clients can't accurately convey their needs. Doug, he manages to read the fucking minds of the people that he works with. Manny is a perfect example of that. Manny can't work with anybody but you. Anyway, his rich dad suggested that it was best to go broke before 30. You still have time to recover. But he's essentially saying to take risks. He says he recommends that young people seek work for what they will learn more than what they will earn. Which is funny because I've been talking to Zach about that and how he's kind of topped out where he's at. Timeless. Who are our teachers? One lesson Rich Dad has become crystal clear over the past 25 years is the importance of choosing teachers who have actually done what you want to do. If they haven't done it, how are they going to tell you? They have book knowledge. Well, why can't you just pick up a book yourself and learn? And then he talks about he often recommends joining a marketing company, also called a multi-level marketing company, to learn sales skills. Some of these companies have excellent training programs that help people get over that fear, failure, and rejection, which are the main reason people are unsuccessful. Education is more valuable for money in the long run. I have to disagree with this. These MLM companies do super high pressure sales.
I think they're predatory. I think they're I think they're only they'll only like you as long as you're producing numbers.
Well, that's true for any sales shop.
Well, in a way.
Sales shop. Any sales job, if you're not producing numbers, you're out the door. Yeah. You're out the door. And the thing about the MLM companies, though, is you're only making 30%. That's a ridiculous margin.
Yeah.
And it's very high pressure tactics, and quite frequently the markets are completely saturated. So unless you get in early and you do a ton of recruiting, or
you have you're in on a product that is doing something that no other product does, and you
No, but
you
when
have
it-
a
but the-
division,
but
or you
it's-
have
But
an
I'm
area.
talking about an MLM specifically.
Well, in
Specifically in the
general.
MLM, the product, the return is about 30%. The products are not terribly expensive, so it's a lot of work for low revenue, and you're not doing a tremendous amount of volume. You're having to call every one of your family and friends, and you're basically everybody starts hiding from you. So I think that the sales pro the way they teach is such super high pressure, and I don't think high pressure is the way to sell.
No.
You'll get a one-time sale with a high pressure. Somebody will buy just to shut you the fuck up, but they're not going to buy because they want to buy from you. They're not going to buy because of the relationship with you. If you're willing to work and learn something new instead of insist on becoming highly specialized within your field, make sure the company you work for is unionized. Meaning, if you're going to be highly specialized, you need to work for a unionized company. So say you're a carpenter. He's suggesting you should be a union carpenter. Although I would suggest that you be a carpenter on your own. He would have. He continued with this line in career. He would have sought a company with a strong pilots union, because his life would have been dedicated to learning a skill that was valuable in only one industry. So he would need it. Oh, here's one. He taught a class and he asked everyone who could cook a better burger than McDonald's. Can you cook a better burger than McDonald's?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, so he said the reason so many talented people are poor is because they focus on building a better hamburger with little to no knowledge about business systems, because the answer is McDonald's is excellent at business systems. He also talks about he had a guy that he was consulting with, and the guy he had some money left to him, and he took like $25,000 and put it in a 2-page ad spread that ran for 3 months in a magazine and didn't get any sales from it. And he's like, you took your entire inheritance and did that. And he said, take a class in sales. And the guy was like, I don't have time and I don't want to waste my money.
Just wasted.
You just wasted your fucking money. And he says, in today's world, systems are it, meaning IT, internet technology. How well are you using all of today's tools? And that's a great example. He talks about here, technology offers us ways to better serve our global community needs. So obviously, you're able to reach the global community. But like one thing that happened for us is we started using StreamYard for the podcast. And so what StreamYard does is it enables us to go live on multiple platforms, enables us to see the comments on multiple platforms and bring the comments up onto our page. He says the main management skills needed for success are management of cash flow, which is you can easily learn in the game, management of systems, and management of people. He wanted to explain that sales equals income. Your ability to sell, to communicate your position on your thoughts directly impacts your success. And then he that's pretty much it. He talks about selling and marketing, and if you learn how to sell, you're better at communicating, negotiating, and handling your fear of rejection. You're more risk tolerant if you're a salesperson. And then it's going to make you, if you're more risk tolerant, you're going to be better off financially. I have friends who are geniuses, but they cannot communicate effectively with other human beings. I underline that because I know a lot of people that fall into that category. So smart, they're fucking stupid.
I've seen a lot of very smart people do a lot of stupid things.
I've done a lot of stupid
in my
things.
career,
I'm a goddamn genius. He says people are poor because they are neither good students nor good teachers. Both of my dads were generous men. Both made it a practice to give first. Teaching was one of their ways of giving. The more they gave, the more they received. One glaring difference was in giving money. My rich dad gave lots of money away. He gave to his church, to charities, and to his foundation. He knew that to receive money, you had to give money. Giving money is the secret of most great wealthy families. They're designed to take their wealth and increase it, and as well as give it away in perpetuity, which is my goal. I'd like to be doing some
giving.
I'd like to build a nonprofit holistic healing centers, perhaps a community for folks, with different disabilities, or just community of good people together. Like, I don't know, the haters. And he says, given you shall receive. Instead, he believed in receive and then you shall give. Right. Meaning the poor dad didn't think he had enough money to give, so he didn't give. But the rich dad gave whether he had it or not. In conclusion, I became both dads. One part of me is a hardcore capitalist who loves the game of money and making money. The other is socially responsible teacher who is deeply concerned with the ever-widening gap between the haves and the have-nots. I personally hold the archaic educational system primarily responsible for this growing gap. I do not disagree with him.
It's fun. It's funny as you read that. I am totally the poor dad personality. You are totally the rich dad personality. You take risks. You're able to take risks, or you're more willing to take risks. You're in sales, obviously, or was in sales. We're in sales.
Mhm.
And whereas I play things closer to the vest because I feel like it's like, because I'm always nervous about stuff. I'm more nervous about not having money or whatever.
But that's the thing. I mean, we talked about that early in the book, is that your fear,
right,
and anxiety, and it's like the fear. When you have fear and anxiety, it herniates. Don't get me wrong. I have moments where I'm anxious as well, but anxiety will fuck you up.
Oh, absolutely. But
it'll fuck up every aspect of your life if you do not get control of it. You have to realize that thoughts become things, and I realize that people think like, yes, but anxiety is, it's a serious issue. Yeah, it is. But there's things that you can do. I mean, exercise, meditation, journaling, mindfulness, changing your diet. I mean, like if you're consuming caffeine and you have anxiety, cut the fucking caffeine. If you're consuming sugar and you have anxiety, cut the fucking sugar. Most people wake up in the morning feeling the most anxious. Meditate for 5 minutes. It'll bring your cortisol level back down. And then of course your vitamins and nutrients. Most Americans are, I think it might be globally, most Americans are magnesium deficient. And of course, magnesium aids in vitamin D absorption. Yeah. Well, and most people need both.
I will look up that the Australian guy that I think it was on Prime. It was a documentary about an Australian guy who was super fit and didn't eat a drop of sugar, and then he started going on sugar, and he made this documentary about it, and it was pretty eye-opening. He went through some psychological stuff. He was irritable. He had to tell his wife that he was doing this because it was going to get ugly, and it did. And he came over to America, and he was shocked at the amount of sugar in everything. Salad dressing, everything.
But hang on. As much as I knock sugar, the only thing worse than sugar is artificial sweeteners.
Artificial sweeteners were never a good idea.
I agree.
The science behind some of them were like they coated them in almost like a bleach, so that when it hits your system says, "Oh, this is bleach. Get rid of it." So then it gets rid of it, and it doesn't absorb it, and you're only absorbing that bleach or whatever's on the outside. But I will look it up, and I will bring it to one of the future podcasts. It's very interesting. It's actually super disturbing at the same time. But yeah, people don't even know that they're addicted to sugar. And
but why do we put it in every and it's so funny because our soil is super depleted, and because of that, the food doesn't have as much nutrition. If you're buying conventional food, it doesn't have nearly as much. So I was watching Barbara Neal again this morning briefly, and she was talking about how a tomato that you buy organic has like 57% more nutrients than a conventional tomato. Yeah. And so it's like, well, and obviously even more so if you grow it at home because it hasn't been on the shelf or whatever. So it's like, well, I hear so many people make arguments against organic food, and I'm like, you want to eat conventional food?
Well, I think sometimes the arguments is it really better for the environment? Is it better for you since they're using whatever, which I think when I see 100 perfect apples, right, you gotta wonder about that. What happened to the rest apples that weren't good, or like what, like you always, why does all the chicken look
what
the same?
The fuck was that?
I don't know. It's Speed Racer.
I don't know. What I know is that we have a lot of Franken food, and it's not, people are sick, and there's a reason why.
Well, I will add this to the sugar argument. It's not sugar. Like if you read something that has sugar, it's the high fructose corn syrup.
No, but sugar is terrible for you. It's as addictive as cocaine.
Sugar is bad for you, but the high fructose is even worse.
Yes, because high fructose is worse. Artificial sweeteners are worse, but sugar is fucking terrible. And it's in everything, and you need to be reading your labels. That's all I can say. And I don't think anybody needs to, I've personally in the last, I don't know, and I haven't the last couple of days, I haven't gotten my laps in because I've been doing other stuff, and I really need to get more focused, but I've lost 6 pounds. I'm not even trying. Not even trying. Because I don't eat sugar.
like occasionally, but rarely. And like I think that it's inflammatory. It's going to increase your. If you're having pain, stop eating sugar. It's inflammatory. What else?
Well, if you take away all the stuff that's inflammatory, leaves very little to
That's
like
not true.
vegetables and meat.
Yes, what's wrong with eating vegetables and fruit?
But then
and meat?
what about like I'm just trying to think. Like even some of the foods are inflammatory. Even like tomatoes are inflammatory, right?
Yeah, well, nightshades tend to be inflammatory. Yes, but there's plenty of foods that you can eat. I mean, I think the issue.
Well, yeah, corn, no.
Corn is
Peanuts,
a big no because
you know.
most of the corn is GMO. It's but a lot of it has to do with our food systems. Corn, the vast majority of it's GMO, and it just turns into sugar. You can't really digest it. There's not a lot of nutritional value in it. What was the other one we were talking about? Not just corn, was something else. Peanuts. Peanuts, because of the way they're grown and stored, they all contain mold, which is why so many people, I think it's called lectin, but I could be wrong. It's a kind of mold that is in peanuts. This is why people are allergic to peanuts now. So it's like, it's not the food itself. It's what we've done to break our food systems that are making people sick.
And the soil and the pesticides and this, that, and the other thing. It's
and here we are. And actually my friend Christina had the same problem. We have some organic vegetables growing. We buy organic soil. We grow from seed, or we even get the pods sometimes. We grow organic from scratch, and then they fucking come by and spray. There goes my organic vegetables. Christina's tower, she just chopped the whole thing down because they went by her house and sprayed. But here's the other thing. She just didn't know that they had gone by before and sprayed. So all this time, she thought she was having her nice organic food, and they're spraying goddamn pesticides.
Well, if you know when
it's
scheduled.
This is why I need to move to the middle of nowhere so I can have. I mean, listen. Back in Massachusetts, we had a massive garden. We did square foot gardening. If our finances were different right now, I'd buy myself 4 or 5 tower gardens and just have that whole area there, tower gardens. But in the summer heat in Florida, you're not growing shit.
Yeah.
So what you could do is bring stuff inside, like and put it, whatever with lights and stuff. So we have to put it in the guest.
Or we just grow cactus.
We've actually eaten cactus. It was pretty good. It was good, but it's a bitch to peel. You got to peel all the spines off, and then you kind of dice it up, and it picks up the flavor of whatever it is.
What does it taste like? It kind of tastes like a cross between edamame and
zucchini.
Yeah, it was like somewhere in between there. Whatever we did to cook it was
I haven't seen any since then, but and it's actually interesting. Somebody had I saw a TikTok where somebody had a free cactus plant they were giving away, this massive cactus. And apparently cactus is really easy to pop out, like to make into separate plants. And so they took it and turned it into $5,000 worth of plants.
Nice.
So we're not doing creative stuff like that. I gotta tell you, it's fucking hot.
It's hot.
There's only 2 people,
but we like those 2 people.
Talk about. Yeah, we really appreciate you guys for coming.
Well,
we don't have a lot tonight. Y'all don't have a lot to say.
It was a long week, folks. It was a long week.
I just wasn't prepared for tonight.
We weren't really prepared. You had
honestly on a night like tonight where we're not terribly prepared and we don't have a lot of interaction.
We still did an hour.
I'm like, why the hell are we doing this podcast? That's how I'm feeling right now.
Well, I think we bring a lot to the table usually, and I think we're feeling lousy because we didn't bring a lot to the table tonight. But I think we weren't
prepared, and that's partially our fault.
Some good banter. I thought it was.
Well, let's do our gratitude real quick.
Gratitude. Terrible gratitude for this shirt, for my lovely vitamin C shirt.
Thank you, Christina, for sending me some supplements today. She sent me standard process magnesium easy mag and another product that is supposed to help me poop, although I did poop today all by myself.
Interesting.
And she sent me a tank top as well. Christina, she's always so thoughtful. If you are interested in standard process supplements or supplements in general, she is a great resource. I'm happy to introduce you. She offers a discount to everybody, and she also is where I bought my biomat. And the thing that was cool about buying my biomat through Christina was that I was able to use my HSA to pay for it.
Yeah.
Which means it comes out pre-tax dollars. Otherwise, I would have had to pay a fair amount more, and of course, pre-tax dollars. I like pre-tax dollars. And then I'm also thankful that Jen and Lenny and Sophia and Macy came today. That was
a treat.
We had such a good time.
That was a treat.
I'm grateful that I get a live concert from Sophia and Doug.
Yep.
I am grateful that my pen came in the mail today because I was going nuts without my green pen.
What else am I grateful for?
I am grateful for I reached out to my music producer friend. He gave a listen to Perfectville, loved it,
Oh yeah, I forgot about
and
that.
I transferred files to him. He's gonna hopefully work on it over the weekend. He says he can get probably to near where I would like to be with it, all cleaned up. And I'm not really that picky about it. And he has some visions to bring to the mix, etc. So I'm very indebted and grateful to him. And I will we'll be promoting him after that goes live.
Absolutely.
To make sure everybody.
It says my pens were delivered.
Your pens were delivered. Didn't you open them up and say that these weren't the pens you thought they were?
This is different pens. It wasn't in there. I don't know where the fuck it is.
All right.
So
Well, this is
anyway. I'm thankful I'm thankful that I got to have fun swimming. I'm thankful that Soph made so much progress on swimming. I'm thankful that we were able to take some of the stress off of her parents for a few minutes. I'm super thankful for the new drawing on our refrigerator of Doug.
Yeah,
and
that
I.
was never very nice.
Apparently, I have a picture of Sophia on my shirt, and you have a picture of Macy on your shirt. Because
right.
we have our own little besties.
Yep.
And I'm thankful for the Rich Dad Poor Dad game because I think I'm gonna go inside and play it right now. Yeah. Y'all, if you've got any topics you want us to discuss on the podcast, any ideas, we'd love to hear them. We love and appreciate you all. We hope you have a fantastic weekend.
And we will see you on Sunday.
Sunday
which is
at 8 o'clock. If
8
you
o'clock.
You got nothing better to do, if you're having issues with your dad and you're estranged from your kids, or the other way around, or you've lost a child,
or if you'd like some fatherly advice from me.
Whatever. I think we're gonna play Jackbox, and maybe Doug will impart some fatherly advice while we play. Perhaps. Yes?
Potentially.
Night, guys.
Potentially. See you then. Sunday.